everyone. My name is Sarah Miller, and I am the Senior Policy and Advocacy Network Advisor here at Child Care Aware of America. And today we're going to be talking about maximizing your Facebook visuals. If you have any questions or concerns while we're going through this webinar today, feel free to type it into the question box over on the side of your screen. We'll try and get through those questions. If not, I can always follow up with you after this is over, just answering any questions you personally may have if they don't pertain to the whole group. I will post my contact information at the end of the webinar, so you can always reach out to me as well. Some of the things that we're going to be going over today, let's see here, just a little bit of an outline for you. We're going to be talking about your Facebook profile picture. That's just the smaller image at the top of your Facebook timeline. We will talk about your cover photo, which is the larger image at the top of your timeline. We will talk a little bit about Facebook timeline and what it can offer you, just visually and to appeal to your audience more. And we'll talk about scheduling posts so you are not always having to update your Facebook at that moment. You can set it up in advance so it will post automatically for you. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is your profile picture. This is the picture that shows up alongside your name when you post on someone else's wall or timeline, and it also displays at the top of your timeline with the smaller image next to your organization name. Now, these images are always a square, and they display at 160 by 160 pixels. Now, a lot of people may not know what a pixel is, and a pixel is just a dot that makes up the picture. And the more pixels per inch in a photo are just the resolution of it. So Facebook requires that you upload a photo that is at least 180 by 180, but it will display at a smaller size. So I recommend just having a small border around your logo or image, just so if something is cut off, it's not cutting off the actual image that you want to display. A lot of logos and images that you'll upload are actually going to show up rectangular because a lot of photos are like a 3 by 5 photo or just the way that they're set up. So the best way to make that photo not cut off is to make sure that when you upload it, it is a square image. Whether you have to edit it in a photo editing program like Photoshop or Paint on your computer, just making sure that it's a square image will prevent it from being cut off or blurry or just not able to be viewed the way that you would like it to look. I have a couple of examples of profile pictures that are cut off and how to prevent that from happening. So this first one that we have here, it's All Good Soul Food Restaurant. If you look at their profile picture right up here, it's actually uploaded as a rectangle image, so you can't really read what they want you to. It's all cut off and not the ideal image you would like to display. If you also notice, they don't have a photo behind it, which is where your cover photo would be. But if they went into a photo editing program and edited this photo down to a square, maybe a little bit smaller, it would display much nicer in the profile photo image. Another example of this is Generator Coffee. If you look at their profile picture, it should say Generator Coffee Shop, but the sides of the photo are cut off because it was uploaded as a rectangular image. So another option would be to go in here and make it a square, whether you're just adding some blank space to the top or the sides, depending on the direction your logo is. That way you can make it a square and it will be much more easy to read as just your profile image. If you'll also notice at the top, they have a cover photo that kind of goes along with what they do. It looks like some sort of pastries at their coffee shop. So it just kind of enhances that image and adds to the overall brand or look that they're trying to display. And then one last image for you here. This profile picture is also rectangular and cut off, so you can't read anything in it. Once again, making that a square would prevent that from happening. And if you notice that their cover photo at the top actually has a lot of text in it, it's really distracting from that profile photo and from their organization name. So I think that when we get into the cover photo discussion, we can just talk about what you want in that cover photo and what you don't want, just so it adds to your page rather than takes away. So cover photos. Cover photos are 851 pixels, those dots per inch that you're going to have in that photo, and then 315 pixels tall. Facebook requires that you upload a photo that's 399 pixels wide. Once again, if you go into a photo editing program, you can play around with those different numbers and get it to be the size and look that you're looking for. An example of our logo here, it's just cropped to the correct size, so we could upload that and make that our cover photo right now because it is the size that would be required by Facebook on our page. So what should my cover photo be? As we saw in this last slide, there's a lot of text here. I don't recommend putting a lot of text in there just because it's the very first thing that people see when they go to your Facebook page. So having a lot of information there might kind of scare them. So I think that having an image at the top is a much better way to add to your page. You can have your logo as your profile picture and then have an image that kind of goes along with it just to add to the overall look and not take away from what you're trying to display. So if you go to our Facebook page, I can pull that up here, and you can see that we have an image at the top of our page. So let me just pull that up here. This is our Facebook page right now. We're still working on switching our name over with Facebook. We were hoping to have that done in time, but we're still working with them to get that taken care of. But as you notice, we have our logo as a square as our profile picture, and then we have an image to go along with it as our cover photo. So when you come to our page, everything looks like it goes together. There's not too much going on, and nothing is cut off or blurry, and it all just looks like one big brand for our organization. And then if we go back into our slides here, then what we can see is our next step is going into timeline. So what is timeline? Timeline is your Facebook wall as it appears now. If you have not already been required to switch to timeline, timeline is going to have you switch over. It is going to be required for all of their users. And timeline is just the look of your Facebook wall. A lot of times people can post on your wall. You may want to just edit that around. So you can edit the features in timeline, whether you want to delete something or change the date of it. Timeline gives you that option. You can also click into the timeline and add something that has taken place for your organization. Let's say you opened a new center and you wanted to add it in there. It's kind of like a timeline for your organization. So let's say back in April you opened a new center, so you can click on April, click in there, and just add it to your timeline so people can kind of see what has taken place for your organization over the past few months or years. If we go into our Facebook page again, I can show you how you do that. So this is our timeline, and if we scroll down, let's say right here we wanted to add an event. We just click on the timeline and click event or milestone, and it lets you add it in. So you can add, let's say maybe you attended an event and you wanted to add it in here. You can do so, and then it's always going to show up to anyone who comes to visit your timeline. The last thing that we were going to discuss today is scheduling posts. So we'll go in here and scheduling posts. There are a couple of different options for scheduling posts so you don't have to update them every time you want to post something. A couple of these are strictly Twitter for updating your Twitter posts, unless you pay for the upgrade to the Pro version, which lets you update your Facebook schedules as well. With the top one, Hootsuite, that we have here, It allows you to update your Facebook and Twitter posts by scheduling them, so you can go in the morning, you can add in different posts for times throughout the day, and then you don't have to really visit your Twitter or Facebook accounts the rest of the day. It should post them for you. And I can show you what that looks like. If we go into our account here, we'll just click on it. And this is the welcome screen. So you can always add another social network, create a new message, create a new tab, things like that. So we'll go into our Facebook page here, and you can add different streams and events. But if you just click up at the top, you can compose a message. So you can say, welcome to our webinar. And you click the profile you want it to go to, whether it's your Twitter account or your Facebook account. So that would go to our Facebook page. You can always add in a link, so there is a reference for your viewers to go back to. You click on scheduling. You can select the date. You can pick up to pretty far into the future. Let's say you wanted something to go out September 26th for 4:25 p.m. And then you click schedule, and that is scheduled. It will go out on your Facebook page on that day at that time. So it is pretty simple. You can get it all taken care of. You can manage all of your social media accounts through this program. It is a free program for you to just log into. You just need an email address to set up the account, and you can link in all of your different Facebook and Twitter accounts through there. Then we'll go back into here. I will post my information here for you. If you have any questions, you can type them into the questions or chat buttons over on the side right now. We can try and answer some questions before we go. And then if not, you can always reach out to me, or I will try to get back to you as soon as I can with any questions you have. Okay, so there was a question that came in regarding deleting messages that we have scheduled. So let's say you do schedule something and realize you don't want to post it. We can go back into there, and I'll show you how to delete that. So if we pull this up, we're in our account right here. So what you can do is you can go over into the, if you click on the side panel, it will expand for you. You can click on Publisher, and it will show you things that you have scheduled. So, for example, these are things that we have scheduled today, but if we have something we want to do in the future, we can just go to that day and time and always delete it. For example, if we have something scheduled, you can just, this little X will show up, and you can click delete, and it won't go out. You can also edit it here in the same feature. Let's see here. A couple more questions here. One of the questions is, what photo editing software do you suggest for our Facebook logo? And I would just suggest using whatever you have available to you. I know that Paint comes standard on a lot of computers, and you should be able to edit it pretty well in there. You can always download different versions of Photoshop if you don't want something as elaborate as Photoshop. There are less intense programs such as Photoshop Elements, or you can also download a free program called Paint.net, which is just like Paint on your computer, but it gives you a little more flexibility with the editing that you may want to do. Another example, let's see here. So there was a question regarding adding to our timeline. So yesterday, we went to the hearing up on the Hill, and if we wanted to add that to our timeline, just so people knew that we attended it yesterday, we can go in here and click right on our timeline. And if, let's say, we had a photo or video from the event, we could click on this and add that photo or video. Or if we decided that we didn't want that, we could just click on here again, update our status, and say, attended CCDBG hearing on the Hill. And then we would post it, and it would show up on our Facebook as something that happened in the past that we attended. You can always edit the day and time, so it was yesterday. We went at 10 a.m., and we could post it, and it would be there. I think that's all for our questions right now. If anybody does have any more questions, we can always go back here. I will get the information for you, and you can always contact me if something does come up. Okay, well then I guess that will be it for our Lunch and Learn today. Please feel free to let me know if any questions come up or if there is something a little more specific that you just need some help with. I'm always around to help you out with that. But thank you so much for joining us for our Lunch and Learn today, and have a great day.